So the whole Saw franchise, in a nutshell, is this. You follow a killer named Jigsaw, and he has this high set of morals that if you don't appreciate life, you deserve to die. He's going to test you with a complicated, creative game, aesthetically pleasing game to horror fans and gore fans. The first movie follows and him in his simplest game, two guys in a room and a dead body in the center. How do they survive? How do they get out? Second movie on, it gets 10 times more complicated. They add 10 times more characters, and you care about only Jigsaw and maybe his disciples. The cops are assholes, the players are assholes, everybody's assholes except Jigsaw. That's the main point. He gets three or four followers as the series goes on, and each one is just an excuse to say, oh, that's how he did this, that's how he did this. He has a cop on the inside, he has a girl who knows little things about how to get medicine and stuff like that. He's constantly testing them too, which is a dick move from a teacher. But he's constantly testing them right up until his death in 3 and 4, because surprise, 3 and 4 happen at the exact same time. And if you watch them side by side, they're congruent, which was cool at the time. Now in hindsight, a little annoying, especially when you got to marathon it. But it's because you see the same deaths twice. Jigsaw's and Amanda's, which is his protege, one of his first proteges. From 5 to 7, it's a post-Jigsaw world. You kind of see that with the public. It's not nearly touched upon as much as I would have done it, which would have been a lot, in that, Jigsaw's gone. How do we live in a world without Jigsaw? You had the people who believed in what he believed in, had the people who didn't believe in what he believed in. It follows his apprentice from 5 to 7, the only apprentice surviving, which is the cop, Hoffman, who's an alright actor. He has a voice much like Tobin Bell. And basically 5 through 7 is just him trying to clean up his Jigsaw's mess and get the cops off his trail from thinking he's an apprentice, and he kills the one FBI agent that knows he's the apprentice. Eventually, Jigsaw's ex-wife comes into the picture, making things more complicated because
really hot.
She was hot, yeah. Right up until she died, and what's it called? They do more, and then they start getting into dream sequence traps, which is just annoying because you don't know what's a dream and what's not. Especially with the wife, because she has a dream sequence trap. But anyway, then you get into, of course, the origins. They keep adding to the origins, even though they added to it in the second one. He's a cancer patient who doesn't have long left, and he's trying to kill or teach as many people as possible before he dies. All the way up till 6 and 7, they add to his origin like a comic book desperately trying to ram prequel stuff into an origin story. And by 6 and 7, you find out Amanda is the reason his son died, which is the reason he went down the path to being Jigsaw. And it's more complicated from that. 7 finally is what annoyed me the most, because they bring back a character that wasn't seen since 1, the only survivor since the first movie, wasn't seen from 2 through 6. They bring him into 7. They have him for 5 minutes just to say he's alive and he's an apprentice too. Surprise. He's apprentice number 4 or whatever. And they don't do anything with him. They tease more to do with him, and they don't do anything with him. You would think he'd come back for Jigsaw number 8, but no, he's nowhere to be seen because Carrie Elways is too expensive, apparently. And now, finally, we're at Jigsaw. Jigsaw's been dead for 10 years. They dig up his body to make sure he's dead, but guess what? It's a surprise. He's not in the grave, but he's still dead. And anytime you see Jigsaw, it's a prequel stuff. They keep adding to the prequel stuff, to his origin stuff, which is the only way to bring Tobin Bell back, and I appreciate that. But it gets a little annoying hammering in prequel stuff like it's a dead horse, and you're still ramming it, even you're still hitting it thinking it'll run. And, you follow 5 people or 4 people in a trap, and, they're all assholes. They kill them off way too quickly, which is where you start to think, oh, maybe they'll do something else, something different. No, it's just a regular Saw movie with the idea that maybe Jigsaw somehow survived an autopsy, because in 4 you see his straight-up autopsy, or 4 or 5. And maybe he duplicated the body. Maybe they resurrected him. Nope, it's just prequel stuff. And at the end, in the modern day, away from the prequel story, you find out he had another accomplice, a war vet, who he saved, who messed up. It again adds to the origin stuff. It was an orderly that messed up his MRI scan and made him think he was dying quicker than he was, or made him think he was dying later than he was. one or the other, it doesn't matter, but it adds another goddamn apprentice, and that's just beating a dead horse with another dead horse. And it was alright for a Saw movie. It could have been so much better. That's my thoughts on it, and Tobin Bell's always great to see, because these are the only way to see him, apparently. All in all, the Saw franchise is great to binge or to see every now and then, maybe watch one every Halloween until you get to the recent one. They're all right, and especially if you love the complicated story and, you know, putting the pieces together like a jigsaw puzzle, then you'll love it. If you don't love that, and if you don't love the gore, then you're not going to like it. And the new movie's more of the gore, modern day gore, and, you know, a little mix of everything. It's a little creative. Some of the old movies you can debate were more creative. But if you like adding to the story, I guess, and you need to see how they do a modern day Jigsaw because it's been like 7 or 8 years since the movie in real time, or in real lifetime, then you'll like it. You'll like where they went. You'll like some aspects of it. You'll pray to God they go the cult route because, god damn it, there's a cult route, and I want that to happen. So that's what I think. Only hardcore fans will like it. Not so hardcore fans will think it's alright. Maybe catch it on TV someday. On a marathon, on a Halloween marathon. But that's what I think.
And those are Drunk David's thoughts.
Drunk David thoughts.